Mish Mish.
So on Friday night, a few days ago, Mish Mish wasn't feeling well. It wasn't like dramatic, it wasn't like he was collapsing or anything. He was just, I know him so well. He was walking a little bit slower, he wasn't himself. I noticed that. It was the last walk kind of like he wasn't as enthusiastic as he was. He seems a little bit weak to me. And he didn't eat his dry food. And he's always, when I'm giving him a boiled egg, he was always like eating it right away. So I kind of taste his appetite, and he ate only half of it. He was lying on the floor. I thought something is not well. During the night, I wake up a few times to check on him. He seems fine, slept fine, but in the morning he was weak. So I called the vet, and you can't have an appointment now because of the COVID-19. So they ask you to fill the form. I filled the form. They book a consulting over the phone meeting with me, but he called me way earlier and said like, bring him to the clinic. So I took him. It was like, I got there at 10, and I'm still thinking, in an hour we're gonna be home. So he got in, I'm waiting in the car, and about an hour later, the vet calling me, and she said they found internal bleeding, abdominal bleeding, when she did the ultrasound, which is not a good sign. And the more she talked, the more bad scenarios comes up, and she said it's usually coming because of a bleeding from the spleen or the liver due to masses on them, and there is about 70% that this is due to cancer. And at that point she's talking about 70%, and what I'm hearing is, okay, we got 30%. I know this dog is strong, I know he was never sick, I know we can do it. There is something to work with. Anyway, it was clear that the bleeding has to be stopped. They booked a blood test and x-ray, and those came fine. Like they didn't find anything on the x-ray or anything remarkable on the blood test. And I'm thinking, oh, this is a good sign. So the surgeon was about to come at 1:30. They give him IV fluid at the time, and we asked to bring him out. My kids came at that point, and we all hug him and say goodbye, and he went in. And as he was walking in, I was like, okay, Mish Mish, go do it. And he was like almost like cheerful walking inside. So the surgeon basically said that if he will be stable after, if he will feel better, then at 10 p.m. we can take him home and he can spend the night with us, and then continue the treatment the day after. But an hour later, we were home already, and she called and she basically said, there's nothing I can do to save him. She found masses on the spleen and on the liver, and there's so many size of one of them the size of a golf ball. And basically she said, I can't stop the bleeding. I can't stop the bleeding, and even if I will, you know, in a few hours, a few days, there would be more bleeding, leak, and the cancer is so advanced that I can't do anything. And the first thing that comes to my mind is like, what do you mean you can't do anything? There must be something. The more she explained, it's kind of sunk in. And that fine line between something so precious that I felt will be with me forever. And within hours, you understand, I understand that I'm gonna lose it. And there is nothing in the world that I can do to change it. Anyway, we got the permission to come and see him for the last time, and two at a time we get in. They gave me a form to sign. My hand was shaking. It's almost surreal to ask me to give permission to end his life. It's like, why am I doing that? Even though I knew this is the best thing, there is nothing else to do, this is for him, it's still crazy. And when I was standing there with Jonathan, my son, inside, and she was actually injecting the liquid, purple liquid, to put it down, I was almost like, I want to scream, stop, don't do it. Like, maybe there is something else, maybe give me another 10 minutes, maybe that's a mistake. That was it. 30 seconds later, she checked and she said, this is it. I took him the same night, drive up 2 hours up to my friend's property, and with my son and daughter we basically bury him. It's a beautiful place, prime location place for Mish Mish. And on the way back, I was keep thinking myself how grateful I am for 12 wonderful years that he gave me. How many, like endless, almost every joyful thing I did in the last 12 years, he was there. Not only he was there, he was in many cases the reason why it was joyful. Like every weekend, every daily walk. And I was thinking about what he actually teaches me. What do I take from him? There's so many things, but the most obvious things that comes to my mind was his ability to show me how to enjoy and milk and embrace every little moment, every little thing that the world threw at him or gave him. He knew how to get the maximum out of it, to enjoy it. Every time I took him out for a walk, every time he was like standing by the elevator door, he was so excited that this is the first time ever he's going out, and this is the last time ever, and this is gonna be such a huge, exciting thing. And I'm looking at him, and in my sarcastic kind of eye, and I'm like, hey, relax, what's the big deal? You going down to pee and maybe chase some squirrels, that's all. But that kind of joy, again, time and again, spill over and gets slowly down into your blood, and you start having the same kind of enjoyment from the little things. And imagine like a sunny, beautiful day in the lake. He was feeling it, he was going inside, he was like embracing every minute and knew how to fully enjoy every second of it. And if it's a cold winter day and I'm kind of like complaining about the Canadian winter, and he's like rolling in the snow and showing me like, look, this is so fun, what are you talking about? This is beautiful, this is snow. And if this is like a rainy day in the fall and there is mud, even better, mud, let's get in, let's roll in, this is every little thing he knew how to enjoy. And this kind of lesson that a lot of dogs can teach us, but Mish Mish knew how to do it very well. For me, it's invaluable, because in the end of the day, that's it. There's nothing else but knowing how to enjoy those little things, the daily things, and those are the things that crossed my mind when I was driving back. But I'm thankful for the years, and I'm thankful for what he gave me and what he teaches me and the lesson that I may carry with me. And I'm thankful that he passed without almost any pain, because this cancer apparently is very common, but they don't feel any pain, and that's the best way to leave this world. And that's the way he left us. But right now I think I'm still in shock, and I think I'm still processing the whole thing, and there is a huge void, huge like sadness that I'm not even able to express that with words, because I don't think that would do justice to that. But anybody who experienced something like that knows what I'm talking about. And I just already, it's like 3 days, and I miss him so